Alright guys, welcome back. In this video I'm going to switch gears for a bit and do Azure Active Directory Domain Services. Yes, no PowerShell. So I'm logged into my classic portal, which is the only place you can actually enable it. So I'm going to go down, first thing I'm going to do is actually create a virtual network. And let's see, new. Alright, this should all be elementary now for everybody, so I'm just going to go through it pretty fast. And I'm going to make this a 16 just so that I have enough space there. Let's see. And I'm going to make this a 24. And I'm going to say servers, iServers. I'm going to say complete. So while that is creating, I'm going to jump onto Active Directory. And I don't want to play around with any one of these because they all have their own little testing they're doing. I'm just going to go ahead and new one. And I'm going to call it domain service video. And I'm going to put it in the US. Okay. Oops. Once that is done, I'm going to go into that directory. And then in that directory, I'm going to go, let's see, what's the first thing I need to do? Actually, I need to create a let's just create it. Well, no, let's verify a domain first. Sorry. Don't put the cat for there. So what domain am I going to use? What did I call this one? So let's give me 1 second here. Okay, so I'm just going to say add a custom domain, and I'm going to use that same thing. This time I'm going to say .hazelnest.com. Going to add that domain. Go next. So what I'm going to do here is, let's see. So what I'm going to do here is basically just pause the video for a second and jump into my domain registrar and update those records and then come back to verify. So I've updated the domain in the domain registrar and I hit verify. It says successfully verified. And I go complete. And I'll just make it the primary. Perfect. So once I've done that, I've got the virtual network, and I've got the domain set up. So I created a directory and added the domain to the directory. Now what I'm going to do is create an admin user for my domain services. So actually, what I need to do for you guys, so you're aware, let me go over here. There's a step-by-step task. There's like a 5 task step-by-step. Let's see. Let me give you the task, so the step by step, so you actually think this should be, it's the same thing. This one should be it, right? Let's go here. And this should be under documentation. Get started. So this is the five tasks. I've already done a few of them. So, but this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to create this administrative user in the group. I'm going to create a group and I'll make it a security. And the description doesn't matter, but I'll say okay to that and make sure there's no space. Okay, good. So once I have that created, I can now come in. Well, I could even do that before that, but what I'm going to do here is just add a user on the local directory. That user is going to be me. Yeah, I'm just going to give myself a global admin so I don't have to do that. Next. And I'll create my user. And once I've created my user, what I'm going to do next is go into that group, add my user. I can add both of them just in case. Add those users to the admin group. And if I jump back to the article here, just gives you step by step. We've already created a network, which is the task 2. So that's fine. If you go down to, now we're in task 3 now, so let's jump back in there. Task 3 is the longest task because it does take a while for the domain service to be activated. So let's go ahead and enable it. Then it's going to ask for the domain you want to use. This is why we have to create the domain. Why I like to create a domain. So I click that. And also it's going to ask you for what network you want to use, which is why I created a network before. So I'll use this one. And that's it. I'll hit on save. Now this section of the this section is actually going to take a while. It might be on pending for up to 30 minutes. So just don't worry about it. You can actually just leave it there and go grab a coffee. But in my, well, go do something else. Go eat lunch. but but right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare other stuff for testing, so we don't have to waste a lot of time. So while that's been activated here, I'm gonna try to because I want to show you how the VM will interact. So I'm gonna go into cloud service here, and then I'm gonna say let's create a cloud service called what did I call the zone? Oof. Give me 1 second. I can't remember what I called it. So let's go back into my. All right. Oh yes. So we're gonna create a cloud service called this. the west. Uh, while that's creating, and I'm also going to create a storage, call that in the west. Now this is just because I like to do it. It's not recommended that you do all this step the way I'm doing it. Your storage can be anything. Your cloud service can be anything. This is just me trying to get myself organized as I have a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So let's see. All right. So once the storage account has been created, so what we now need to do is sit back. Let's see. Oops, no, you can always go into the main. I need to go in here. Right, it's just to sit back and wait till this is done penning. So, like I said, I've already done the stuff. It'll take about 30 minutes or so. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pause the video for that, and once it's done, I'll be back. Okay, so after about 20 to 30 minutes, about 30 minutes, you should get your first, this should appear, your first IP, and it should no longer be pending. So what you need to do at this point, people always skip because they don't follow the actual article. Jump back in there. Actually, I think it gives a time in here. Yeah, right here. Yeah, actually, yeah, 20, 30 minutes, you should see your first IP. That means your service is ready to use. And then at the end of the day, you should see two IPs, but you can continue. So at this point, what you need to do, you need to take those IPs back to the network section. It's all in the article, step 4. So we jump back here, we go to the network, and this is our virtual network. And we need to configure it. And we need to put the IP address. We'll say you can give it whatever you want, DNS1, DNS2. Oops. Ah. And then we need to save it. Once you're changing the network configuration, say yes. So that would update the the DNS record for anything on this virtual network. So looking at that, that should be, it's not really the end, um, but that should be the end of the domain services setup. Technically, the rest is just enabling password synchronization. You see, like for example, my users are all cloud-based, so any users that I currently have there, I would have to reset the password using this step for them to be able to use the domain services. And but that should be the end of the domain services step right there. What I'm going to do though on this video is continue to show you how you can set up a virtual machine to make use of this domain services. So let's go back. I've already created the cloud service. I've already created storage, and we have a network. So all we need to do now is just get a machine up and running. So I'll do. Oh, what is it? All right, there we go. And I'm going to do from gallery. All right, so let's do something. Let's just do the basic here. Let's go next. Oops. Directory service. What was it? Directory service test. I can't remember what I had there. Let's see. Directory service video test. I'm just gonna go for the cheapest I can get here. I don't wanna. Directory service video test admin. Go next. I'm gonna drop out and use this cloud service. I'm gonna put it under this virtual network because I wanted to make use of the existing information. One thing I forgot to do. Let's just go back and do it. Let's go networking. Where is it? Networking. Go into this one. And what I'm going to do here is go into the network. Oops, configure. I'm just going to create another subnet. I like to be organized. That's going to say servers. Yep. Okay, so I have this one that has the important servers, and I have this one that has the rest of the servers. So that's the way I like to get it organized. So now I can jump back up to my virtual network, my virtual machines. Gallery, come on. Go next. DS video test. I'm gonna make it basic. DS video test admin. My password. I'm gonna drop down. Use this. I'm gonna say use this network and put it on. Oh, where's my other subnet? Why is it not showing? Let's go here. Refresh again. Come on. For some reason the subnet hasn't synchronized yet, so it's not showing, but that's fine. Let's just go ahead. I can just leave it there. I just going to look in 3389 for this one. And then I go next. And I create the VM. I don't want you to stay on while this VM created, so I'll be back once it's done. Okay, so once the machine is in a running state, let's go ahead and connect to it. It was domain service video test admin. And let's give it, it's a first login, so let's give it a few minutes for it to prepare the profile. Okay, it's logging in slowly. It's taking a while because of the machine I selected. It was I think the basic, was it 1 or 0? But it's pretty small. All right, looks like it's still coming up. Let's see. Okay, perfect. All right, so when it comes up, the first thing I like to do, should have taken the sorry, everything is moving so slow. I should have made a bigger machine. Ah well, hindsight is always 2020. All right, I'm gonna use this one because this one is easier than the PowerShell. Loads faster. First thing I'm gonna do is do an IP config all and confirm that these are my DNS server. Once I have that, what I'll do is I'll go to my local server here. It's loaded, it's loaded, it's loading. Oops. The work group, I'll click on the work group here. And I can say change. Now this is the beauty about domain services, is I can now join this machine to the domain like any local domain. So I can say, what is it? Domain service video test. Okay. Dragon. Dot hazelnest.com. Say okay. And I'll use HHAZL. This would be my, well, I'm just put it out in full. This was the one I created, right, as a global. And I can just leave it there because it's the same domain. You see, this is going to be part of whatever is part of that domain. So I'll go password. Yep. And that should join me to the domain. I'll go ahead and say OK. It doesn't like my computer name. Well, let's go ahead and let's say, yeah, let's leave it at that. So I'll go close. Now go ahead and hit on restart. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. As you see, it's a slow machine, so let's give it a couple of minutes to go through his restart thingy, and then we should be back. All right, so I've given it ample time to restart, about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and try to connect again. But this time, what I'm going to do is for my login, since I'm now domain joined, demo service video test at hazelnest.com. So this should work. Okay, account is not okay. So I'm currently done to the domain, but the account is not authorized. This is something that you get a lot when you just join the machine to the domain services. Don't panic. What happened is that the domain service itself does take a while to replicate. I'm just going to come here and go to groups and verify that indeed I am a member of this group, which I am. So what I'm going to do next is go back to the virtual machine and connect. And I'm going to log with the local admin again. Okay. And once in with the local admin, I'm going to confirm a few things. Once I've confirmed those things, I know all I need to do is wait for replication. So let's see. All right, I'm going to go to local groups and go into the administrators. Okay, so there's something missing here. So which means it might not be replication. So what should have added here that is not there? I'm not sure what the process why I break it up, but you could simply come in here and say add. This should have been part of the local local administrator group, which should give me rights to remote desktop. So we can just go back here. Since these are two different users, you can just minimize here, say okay, and then we can just hit on connect again. And here we say at domain service video test. And voila. I'm remote desktop in using an account on the domain services, on an account on Azure AD because of the domain services. So now at this point, it definitely looks like it's replication. So um, I'll just have to wait for it to replicate. But to get the drifts, that's how you set up. Well, you know what? I'll pause the video and wait till it gets working so you can see. All right. Let's give it about 20 minutes for replication. All right, guys. So I waited for about let's say 20-25 minutes, and while I was in there, also just renamed the VM since I had that name issue when I was joining it. So let's see what we get now. Yep. Looks like we're good. Perfect. So we're now logged into the VM using a credential from AAD. All right. That will be the end of the video. Y'all have a good day.